Oh, I can never get that part right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 4. We are Sisters on God, and welcome to our podcast. I am the Cat's Meow, and
I'm authentic, sister. Yeah,
Oscar,
you froze.
because it said connection
Yeah.
lost.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It could be the storm because we've had a storm going on.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so tonight's episode is spoiled kids. This comes from conversations. Of course, know that all of our topics come from conversations that Authentic Sister and I have on a regular basis. And this one really touched me based off of my kids, her kids, your kids, all the kids, and how we raise them. And I sorry guys.
It's okay.
I remember my mom saying to me, when you get your kids, you're going to do things with them that I didn't do with you. And you're going to change the way that you raised your kids based on how I raised you. There'll be some things that you'll keep and some things you'll get rid of and you'll adapt onto your own type of settings. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, one of our first things as us being Gen Xers was that we wanted to make sure that we gave our kids materialistic stuff,
Mm-hmm.
everything. We wanted to give them what we did not have or what we did not get. And now the
Mm-hmm.
question is, did we mess up?
Mm-hmm.
Did we mess up?
Yep.
Yeah. Um, children, of course, we're constantly evolving as
Mm-hmm.
generations go on. The generations evolve, and kids evolve, and they change. Of course, that's natural. That's going to happen. But
Mm-hmm.
the evolution with the kids from one generation to the next now is so significantly huge.
Mm-hmm.
The gap is ridiculous. It used to be small things that you saw changing from one generation to the next.
To the
But now
other.
here we are with a generation of kids who have everything in their hand. They don't want to do anything you tell them to do. They have
Mm-hmm.
the police on their side that if you touch them, if you treat them wrong. Heck, I had one of my best friends, her son called the police on her because she took his phone from him as punishment.
Mm-hmm.
And he called and the police came out.
Mm-hmm.
The phone she was paying for.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this
Mm-hmm.
stuff would have never flew in our time.
Call who? Call who?
You gonna call the police? Ask my kids, they'll tell you. You call the police, I promise you, you'll be going.
Leave it with them. Mm-hmm.
I'll go to jail, and I'm gonna sit in jail laughing for my whole time that I'm there. Yep, they won't. When I get out, they won't be here no more. You
Yep.
okay? So let's get a biblical standpoint on this.
Yes.
They used to take the kids out into a big area, and the community would, encampus
Mm-hmm.
that child that was abrasive, that was disrespectful, that was rude, disobedient, and they literally would stone that child to death because back then it was a matter of get that bad seed out of our community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have a bunch of them. And it's not to say that the kids are bad because they're not bad. Well, some are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not trying to label all kids to be bad,
No,
but
no. It's not a broad. brush. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
because some
And
children are like it's almost as if they were born that way.
yes. Look at your grandbabies. They came out holding their heads up, their eyes open,
Wide open. Hmm.
looking around. Babies didn't do that when I had my kids. My babies came out with their eyes closed, looking all sweet and cute.
And it's like almost like they took a minute before their eyes even start opening. These babies, as they got out, their eyes was open.
From the
That
jump.
that really threw me because
Yes.
I don't remember that.
No, no. Because
Don't
that would have
remember
been a
that.
discussion back in that time. Did you see
Uh
that
huh.
baby's got his eyes open already? Baby was just born and baby's eyes is open. Baby looking around. Baby holding his head up. No, this is a
Yep.
whole different breed.
Mhm.
In
Mhm.
the process of advancing,
Mhm. And
advance, yeah.
also our food we eat. That there's a whole lot of different things that's different than it was before. That could be a factor in the reason why these babies are so much more than the ones before.
Well, you've got our food and what we intake and what's in
Mhm.
the air, and there's so many different.
Things
Um,
now that are so addictive. As soon as you taste it, you're addicted.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
because of the chemical or whatever is put in the food.
yeah,
So go figure. These babies' alertness be like that.
yeah.
You know.
And maybe that contributes to the way that the kids are compared to the way the kids were back in the day.
Where.
I think
Mhm.
that it may be like a double-edged sword thing going on.
Mhm.
Kids are more
Mhm.
advanced, they're being born more advanced, and then they're coming into a computer world, and
Mhm.
here we're trying to give them we're
The
trying to
old
supplement.
remedy. Mhm.
Yeah.
But
We're
even when you say you just said they're more advanced, it's almost like I say like take that back 1 second because are they really? It's as if are they really? We were like disadvantaged, like street smarts,
yes,
like
yes,
aware
yes.
mental. Even though we were so broken, we were still
We were
on game.
intelligent
We had to
creatures.
be. Yes, we were born like to. Yeah, we
Yeah,
could take a licking and keep ticking.
that's
These
right.
children are not the same. They are not the same.
No, no,
They're
they're
not. I think, especially Gen X's, that's a tough breed. We survived in the past and the future. Now tell me, we
like
handling both
roaches
era.
never die.
Like what? We yeah, But in reference to like you said, it's yeah. Keep going because it is a really controversial topic too because it's
It
it's
is a
it's very
controversial
broad.
topic.
Yes, the spectrum is yeah.
I mean, you can touch some nerves on this topic,
Yes,
really.
you can. Yes, you can.
I mean,
Mhm. Mhm.
okay, let's get past that. We gave our kids all the materialistic stuff
Mhm.
that we weren't able to have. We
Mhm.
that we spoiled them with that. Now let's
Mhm.
talk about how we allowed our kids freedom of speech.
Mhm.
We because you said it earlier, kids were seen, not heard.
That was what. Yep.
That was the golden rule back
Yes,
in
it
the day.
was. That was law and like it was a thing, and children understood it too. Now, in a sense, it's good and bad.
Yeah,
It's two different things with that. That's a good and a bad because you and I know our generation needed to be heard.
we weren't allowed to speak.
We weren't, but there was
And
so much happening to us because of that that we had to hold in
yep,
because children are seen, not heard. We
yep.
had no voice.
We
So
weren't
we had
weak.
to absorb. No, we weren't. Are you kidding?
No,
No, we weren't.
You were automatically put in the
Right?
category that you were making things
Automatically.
up or you weren't
Yep.
telling the truth.
You're lying or you're trying to get attention or something,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yep.
that's the category that fell in.
Yep.
But then when we think about it though, the abusers kind of made that with that line to keep secrets. You and I know about them secrets, which should be another topic. That's we were
Secrets.
to be secrets were to be kept. You know, we won't touch that topic. That goes left quick.
That's
Talk about
you be pulling on my heartstring on that topic. I don't know if I could actually get through it without some
yeah,
tears.
no. We so let's keep. See, we got to put on blinders because the thing is, things flow so much in. Because the bottom line is, there is no one thing that happens without something making it happen.
That's right.
Every action, reaction.
Reaction.
Everything is happening because of something else.
That's right. Yep.
You know, that's why
Yep.
sometimes even when I'm talking to someone, in reference to that, that's why it's so hard to get through to someone in reference to their children, because some people are in denial to what they're doing. They don't realize sometimes it's not what you're doing that's the problem, it's how you're doing it becomes the
That's right.
problem.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
you can give but you didn't create any balance, so how does this child understand what you're doing when you're giving? But
Hmm.
then the no balance is also lacking in you,
Yep.
because you weren't structured that way also.
Right.
You just know you're trying to satisfy the fact that I didn't have, so I'm trying to give.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we keep forgetting, even though we didn't have, look what we became though.
Right. So it didn't hurt us, did it?
Kind of didn't it, and it taught us structure. It taught us a lot of things. So if we were giving with a balance, then that probably would kind of even that out. It would kind of even that out.
Yeah. Then you've got society playing a role
The
in
other part.
what they're seeing on TV, what they're hearing on the radio, like all of these different influences that kids have, way more than what we Gen Xers had for sure.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
you
And
know,
let's talk about the bullying and the peer pressure. I mean, that has always been, but back then peer pressure was different because we almost all didn't really have much. So who you peer pressuring on? You
and
know?
the peer pressure went from person to person.
Yeah.
Peer pressure nowadays is
Group.
internet.
Mm.
I can't imagine what it would feel like to be a teenager or a child and have
No.
it's one thing to deal with the ones that are face to face with you. It's another to deal with them on the World Wide Web. Um,
Yes. When it's not just sometimes it's one, but with the voice of many.
that's right.
You know?
Yep.
The once that goes out, it's like it just
Those that
it
are on
goes
that
out.
team are going to be on that team. Yep.
And then it comes back to now for us to give them, to give our children what we didn't have. We're working more,
Right.
so we're not
Oh,
even there
for
to
sure.
protect them from. So then
Yep.
so they're left there now to even battle for themselves with the same thing that we're giving them, and this creates such an unbalanced situation. It is such a
Hard to
broad to even
figure
have
out
a
what the
conversation.
balance is for
Oh, sweetie.
per child because
Yeah,
every
uh-huh.
child is
Mhm.
different.
Every child is different,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
even the ones that you taught, you know boy, can you imagine? Yeah, this subject is very triggering for me because you I have direct children that I'm dealing with this right now.
Right.
So it's just so alive that this conversation has so many um directions to it. It's like, for me, it's like, which direction am I supposed to talk on, because there is so much
Yes. Because
angles
you
to
have
this for me.
teenagers, so you're in real time with
Real
this.
time with twins. It's
Right.
two different. One that has a spectrum, an autistic spectrum, and one that's a sweet soul. And it's two different children, two different mind, two different behavior, and different attacks.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm getting it. It's a lot for me.
Your children are humble. And I think that that might be the key to what you
It
give
helps.
your kids. Because if there's no humbleness in them, then it
Mhm.
builds
That
up
aggression.
pride and all
Yes.
the other vain and vanity and
Mhm.
them thinking that they are something that they're not. Um, you know,
Another thing to it too is, as a parent, finding a way to start healing you helps.
it
If
does
you're not
help.
being healed or on a journey of healing, you cannot help them effectively. It
That's
is
right.
so hard to, you probably make things worse than you do make them better.
Hello, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Coral Farver,
Hmm.
one of a major supporter of all platforms that he's on with me. So appreciate you being here. I'm sorry. What was the last thing you said, Sissy? Yes, I call her Sissy.
Yeah, and she expects me to remember. Ah!
I know, I know. Once you give us a second, that thought is gone.
Yeah, but I know. I think I was on the track of parents healing, going on the journey of healing themselves. Also, is one of the main factors that do help. You know,
Yes,
with even how we give to children. Because if you're not healing, you're giving without reasons. So you're
that's right.
almost spoiling a child, you
That's right.
know?
Yep.
So yeah, you didn't teach them no background story or any reason behind your giving. So
Yep.
now this child just knows how to just take. They
Take,
don't
take,
know,
take, take, take. And they
it's
expect
not
you
a
to keep
deserving
giving to
factor,
them.
yes, because
Yep.
your mom, and it just
Yep.
happens.
Yes. I was hoping my
Like I was
daughter was going to be in here tonight because she's got some things going on with my granddaughter, and she's 13. And boy, I tell you,
at that age. Sure.
that mouth,
And but that number though, that number comes with that mouth.
it does. And the attitude and the
Hmm.
thinking that you're grown and you ain't even touched the
I think
surface
she's
of the
here.
phone. Huh?
Your daughter is here.
I don't think she is.
What's her
She
name?
is here. She's here. Hello,
Yeah.
Miss Sharina McLemore.
And you know what, too, Kat? I think some parents, even well, Gen X's mostly, um, because we were so bullied even by parents, because we were. Um, we try not to portray that same behavior on our children. So we're a little bit more lax with it.
Right.
But the thing is, this is a different breed of children, though. As a matter of fact,
Whole
I think this
different
breed
breed.
needed that treatment.
Man.
This breed needs that treatment.
Yeah.
We didn't need it.
No, we
We
didn't.
were no. We're the Israelites. No, we are a good breed. Yes, you got the, but for the
Yeah,
most part, the next is we're a good breed.
that's right. Yep.
We came out with the caring and the love. We came out with with
We
with,
did.
with all that. We're a strong group.
Yes.
You know, we overcame some stuff, and we still kind of operate under the same ordinance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and but this breed that we're raising, Lord, I think we're doing.
I think
We
we need
are,
to go back to the drawing board on
yeah.
parenting
But how
and
can we now, though? Everything
I
is taken from us. It's taken from us, Kat.
yeah.
Our hands are almost tied. So society is raising
Yes.
our children.
Yes.
We're not allowed to do it.
The
And
village
that's
is
another
not
part that's
supposed to do
breaking that.
this to the kids.
That's a part that's breaking that too.
Yep.
And children now, okay, the part when we were growing up, children should be seen, not heard. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a good thing. It wasn't. For us, it wasn't.
Right.
But now I think
I think they could shut up a
children,
little bit.
yes, Yeah. Children now need to listen a little bit more than speak. They literally need to
Exactly.
listen than speak.
Yes. Yes.
Because everybody think they got something to say and you don't know a blessed thing. Why don't you listen?
You ain't
If you
learned
listen,
nothing
you
yet.
know.
You know when they used to say you still wet behind the ears. Did you ever
Here.
hear that saying?
Mm-hmm.
I get that now. I
Mm-hmm.
understand. You're 13. You've been on this earth 13
And
years and
I
what?
know this and I know that. No, you don't.
You wasn't
No,
even
you
really
don't.
existing at 6 years old. You just went to kindergarten. So then that is yeah.
You know what your friend told you and your friend is wrong. How about that?
How about that?
Sometimes when my daughter comes and she's telling me the internet, what you think the internet is? The internet is a whole bunch of people talking, just like how I'm talking to you. That's what it is. It ain't the heavens didn't send those words.
But
No,
that's
that's a
what's raising our kids now. That's
yes,
the
yes.
village. The internet
Mm-hmm.
is the village now.
Mm. Yep. And what a village, child.
What a
A whole
village.
bunch of mental state
Yep.
raising your children, and that's when you allow this to happen.
Yep.
My
You
daughter used to
know,
say,
hmm.
my daughter used to say she doesn't like to take people home to introduce because I scare them. Little old me.
I didn't scare you unless you was a boy coming to visit my daughter.
Girls, they were because the thing is, if you're coming with wrong intention, I'm gonna feel you
Yeah.
and I'm gonna see you. And
Yeah.
guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say what I see or I feel. How about that?
Hmm. Yep.
No, no, you no. Yeah, this breed, I'm different. I'm
We ain't cut from the same cloth. Um, so for me, growing up, I wasn't allowed to do anything. Of course, I was sheltered. I was extremely sheltered as a child and a teenager.
me
And
too.
so by the time that my kids became teenagers and preteens, I wanted to undo that because I didn't want them to be sheltered. I want them to be able to get out there in the world and see the world and understand what the world is, as well as experience some things and have fun.
That's where we're different.
That didn't work out so well either.
Yeah, we're different. I was sheltered, but I was a street smart girl.
Yeah. Well, I had to go and get that because I didn't know
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah. No, but I was sheltered though. My mom, my mom would follow me. My mom would have the belt in her pocket because yeah, we got yeah, and she's gonna beat me from wherever I was to home. Yeah, I'm gonna get that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that shelter
I
was the
wasn't even
word.
allowed out the house, so wasn't no need to follow me anywhere.
Well, in Jamaica, my breed, you went out, but you couldn't just go every which where. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Most people came to my, in Jamaica, we say yard. They came
Yeah.
to my yard to play
Yep. Yep.
because I was allowed to go to theirs. So
Right.
they
Right.
came
And
to
you,
my
you
yard,
couldn't go
but
to
I
them.
wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
And then when you do sneak away, that's when she coming for me with that belt rolled up in her pocket, child. And the first place I look is on her. Back in Jamaica, they had this house dress. I would
Yeah.
look directly because I knew what was
You knew it
coming,
was
child.
there, didn't you?
And I'm gonna get my butt whipped from the yard. Girl, talk about you have to run, and they running you down too. Yeah.
You
So
better not
because
run.
of this,
You
so
better not run because it was gonna be worse on you when they caught up with you.
of course, and I in return sheltered my children. But to be honest with you, my sheltering came from the topic that we didn't want to go into. I didn't
Ah,
leave my children up to everybody. I
right.
cannot, because what happened to me, I'll be damned if it did for them.
Yep.
So because of that, my protective net was overpowering. It still is. I'm a little bit more lax, but I'm still very much like that. I don't
Yes.
believe in sleepovers. For anyone who needs to know, that is a thing I do not believe in. That is such a period. Sleepover is not my thing.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
always said, you have a
My
bed?
mom didn't do that either. I did
I
with my
always,
kids,
yeah,
especially by the time they was a teenager, because I'd
yeah,
rather that my kids was in the house with me and that I had an eye on the kids that they were playing with and hanging with. So
I trusted me more.
sleepovers happened at my house when my kids became.
There you go. That's the only place it would happen with me, but not mine going anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. I just, yeah, that's enough.
Yeah. I had
To
to
this
go and
very
I
day.
had to meet the people that ran that
Mhm,
house. I
mhm,
had to see where my kids were going and talk to
mhm,
whoever the adult was to
mhm, mhm,
and if I didn't like the feeling, then oh no, you're
mm,
not going.
mm-mm. Me,
Because I
and I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
To be honest, I used to feel like, because when my mom, she would run the guilt trip, ma, but everybody. But then I thought to myself, I am not everybody.
I am not everybody. I'm your mother.
I am me. To this very day, I'm like that kid. This is, mm, I am not, I am so me.
That's right.
One of the reasons why I stayed a loner.
Yeah.
I am so me.
Yep.
And I don't like people to, that whole peer pressure. I never fell for that mess. I don't, who you peer pressuring yourself?
I was more afraid of the pressure in my house than those kids out there
On
in
this
the
out there,
school and
that
on the
there you go.
block.
Again, the other
There's
topic
nothing that you could do to me that would be
that
worse
it is
than
not
what I
being,
dealt
yup.
with at home,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
something that kids don't have nowadays. They took
Nowadays,
the
no fear.
if God said to fear him
Mhm.
as you do your mother and father, there's something to that
That
because you
mm.
function and you respect and you are obedient through fear. And when you take that out of play,
What is left?
what is
Yes.
left? How many times have we seen videos of kids smashing the entire house, cussing their parents
Slapping
out,
parents.
putting hands on them? Like that was rare back in our time. Rare.
What? Is you crazy? Very rare. I don't even remember
I
if
don't
it
even
did
remember
happen. Remember seeing that?
I don't ever remember hearing a child that did that in their home. No,
That must be some other word, but I don't know that one.
got that right. Yes, and I
Mm.
hate to say this, but it's true because I remember that we used to talk about Billy. Now you stop that, Billy. You stop running in the aisles, Billy. You know who we talking about, the Karens.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And when it was reflected back at us melanated moms, our kids went out and was respectful and did what they were supposed to do while they were out in public.
Right.
That don't happen no more.
No.
I heard that they felt like, well, if they let their kids do it, then I'm gonna let my kids do it too. Because there was something to be said about letting your kids be free to be them and do them and letting them have the range of being able to think whatever they want and feel whatever they want and say whatever they want, that this is healthy growing processes.
Mm. I don't even know what you're talking about. That's so over my head, child. I mean, if you're gonna do that, then instill some form of structure. You
Gotta
can't.
be some
Children
structure.
don't know nothing. How
That's
you
right.
gonna let a child who knows nothing just have their way?
That's
How is
right.
that a thing?
That's
Have
right.
their way on what? You didn't even
Yep.
teach them anything.
Yeah. And we didn't get rewarded for stuff that we didn't earn. There's another
Period.
there's another thing.
That's another one.
You
Yeah,
didn't
huh?
earn it, you don't get it.
You don't get it.
No.
You don't get it. Apart from the fact that I earned a lot of stuff I ain't never get for nothing.
No.
And but
It
you know
was
what that
lessons on
taught us
learning
though,
how to do for yourself and be for yourself, be an independent adult.
and but that also taught us to be humble,
Mm-hmm.
to not be greedy,
Mm-hmm.
as well as there is another part of it that just taught us how to work hard for what we want. There's different angles to that. It's not just
Yes.
one way. It
Yep.
is different angles.
Yes. Yep.
Nothing comes easy. You know.
No, it doesn't. And that's a part of life's lesson right there. Nothing worth having and worth doing comes easy. And if it came easy, then you're not going to keep it very long.
That's what they taught us.
That
Is
was
that right?
true.
Okay, everything to me that was taught. Now that I'm older and more healed than I was before,
Hmm.
do you know everything has another side to it for me? I see it in different ways as I got older. It is not when they said it, it was just like a paintbrush, just bruh. It's
Right.
not anymore. They're
Right.
different because of the fact that as children we're so different. It's different strokes for different folks.
Yes.
No one particular quote works for everybody.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
it differs. It differs, and I think that's one of the problem. We're saying these things to every no. Pay attention to who you're saying it to. Then I think the
Hmm.
right words will come to you. The same way how you're raising them. Pay attention to your child.
Yep.
Everybody learns different. You can't take one learning to teach another one. It
That is
kind of it
very
doesn't work. You
yes.
know, it doesn't work. And
She said,
but
yes, they do.
because one method don't apply to everybody.
No, it
Some
doesn't.
children, some children, you can actually speak to them and they listen. You know,
That's right.
some
Some you got to
you
put a
got to
little more.
do you got to put a little pressure on it
It's required for some kids.
because
Some kids do not learn without a
by
little
that talking thing, it goes in here and it goes right out there. They didn't hear you. They're not a listening child.
because they're
They
used to
just
hearing you talk.
talk. So it there you go. It becomes white noise.
Yes.
It no longer means anything.
No. All that
Sometimes
sweet,
you got to mix it up. You got to mix it
gentle.
up. Wake
Yeah.
them up. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me wake
Yes.
you up.
My
Uh,
daughter just did that to her daughter. Was it last
I'm
night?
gonna wake you up quite quick
She
on the
showed,
cheek.
she showed my granddaughter a whole new another side to her
Different
mama.
side. Make a child, yeah, because they be like, oh, she ain't playing because they do get used to you just saying, stop it.
They
I'm gonna take
spend
this
their
away, and
whole
you never
life
take it away.
learning us,
You think they don't?
learning
Yes, they do.
the volume in our voice, the expressions on our face, the movement in our body. They have mastered us. That's why I used to tell my kids, "Oh, the master never teaches everything. I always keep some
Yeah,
tricks up my sleeve that you don't know about."
I I am my children. Well, my older daughter, her best friend,
Hmm.
because she just don't like company. But I don't behave like a best friend. I'm a mama. And she knows this. But the best friend is because I'm the one she comes to with everything. I'm the one she can express and talk through some stuff, you know?
Right,
So
right.
that aspect, because I always used to tell her, look, I do drive-bys. When she was in school, don't go doing everything you
Woo!
want to do. I do
Look,
drive-bys. And you
look,
just never know. So because of it, she stayed on her path.
look.
Because
My
you never
kids
know.
used to say their stomach would hurt, and they knew that I was walking in the school because
That
I would never tell them when I was coming. I would
when you
just do
come in.
pop-ups,
And
and they
that's all I had to say. I never had a problem. But I made sure I put something for you to think about. You
exactly.
know? We're
Yes,
not big friends and best and we go,
I ain't
no,
your friend, not yet.
no, we're
It's gonna
not.
be a little bit more time before we can be friends. Yep.
And they my daughter even when Malaya, my twin, she's getting expressive, you can see when she knew she went a little bit, she
Say, oops,
I,
I forgot where I
and I ain't
was.
even have what? And I didn't even have to say nothing. I ain't said a thing. But she checks herself. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, you
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Because that shoes was coming off quite quick, too.
Yep, yep.
But,
Maybe there was something that happened in your eyes and she saw
or
it.
something. You know how expressive I could get.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, though, it's my message, and I know you're gonna have one, because we are different. You know, we're not perfect. The placenta was not a book on the how to. It was just placenta. It wasn't a how to raise
Right.
this thing that's here. It was just the baby, you
Yes.
know. But I think one of the number one thing is even younger generation adults start finding a healing place for yourself. It makes
Mm-hmm.
it so much better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, start to understand you and what you went through because it will help you to, in return, do things that you may not hit it all,
Right.
but you do it a little bit better.
Yep.
You know, and don't deny the fact that you might need to talk to someone or read up on something or hear some, just
Figure
try
you
to,
out.
yes, that, yes. And I think
Yeah.
that's where most of the problem is. It's
Yes.
the us.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
us.
Yep.
It's us from the beginning, from who we choose, from who we didn't choose, honey. We let's not start that topic. We done did all,
Humanity.
yeah, yeah. And we gonna win some and we gonna lose some, but let's
Absolutely.
start winning some a little bit more
A little
because
bit
we're
more.
losing so much.
Balance the
We're
scales and tip
losing
it a
it.
little bit.
Yes, we need to get a little bit more balance
Yes.
because when you don't do your job, you make the other parents' job even though they put the work in. Their kid gotta come be with your kid. You know.
Yep.
Here we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we have gone 10 minutes over our time.
Oh Lord G. See, we need longer time. We
I
as
know we're
much as we
working our
talk,
way up to
I
that.
know. As much as we talk,
Yes.
child.
We are working our way up to that.
Yeah.
And it's like 30 minutes isn't enough to really get into a
The
topic.
nitty
There's
gritty. Hmm.
so much in this topic itself that I really didn't even get a chance to touch on.
We didn't
What
touch
I
on a
want
thing.
to say to everyone is this: we are humans and
Hmm.
we are duplicating what we've seen and what we've heard. We are hopefully doing the best that we can with our generation of our children and then our grandchildren and so forth. Um, and it has to be, you have to find an equal balance in all of this with the ability to have what they want, what they need, freedom of speech, how much is too much talking and how
Hmm.
much disrespectful talking, how much restraint do you put on that child as far as allowing them to go out and be and do what they want.
Hmm.
It's just it's an equal balancing of it, and sometimes it's hard to find that
That,
fine
yeah.
line to walk with your kids
Mhm.
because, as you said, each child has a different personality. What works for one child won't
May
work
not
for
work for
another
them.
child. And this
Mm.
is where us as Gen Xers and all the intelligence that we've gotten from our book smarts to our street smarts that we just have to figure out because it's our blood, it's our child. And
Hmm.
if we can't figure out our own, then who else
How we
will?
expect everybody. Hmm. Hmm.
Yes, I know
And,
there are specialists out there. Go ahead.
mhm. Mhm. Some specialists is just book. They never experienced it. So how you even specialist in what? Reading?
And being taught the curriculum of what
Yeah.
we're what is told to be taught.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But to me, if you didn't get the practical, if you didn't get the practical, you did not do the work. You need to know this. You know,
Oh,
and
you
another.
just said 1 hour more.
Mm,
Thank you so much for being
come
here.
on. And another thing is, it's never too early. These children start learning from they come out.
They do.
We
They do.
keep waiting on when they get big. No, no,
No,
no.
they're mini computers, is what they are.
That yes and no is effective from they start crying. They start understanding. And that's one of the
Your
things we do
grandson
too.
did
We
it to
wait
you
too
the other
long.
night.
Yeah, I know. He was there thinking he's gonna break me, but I see that now they call it Velcro baby. What the
Yes,
what? That's a spoiled child.
spoiled
And he
child.
was just hollering, hollering. I'm like, okay, as long as you're not choking, you're fed and you're clean. Let's see how long you do this. And then all of a sudden he realized, well, damn, she
She ain't doing nothing.
stop.
It was like all of a sudden you heard him and he screams. Boy, does he
He got
scream.
this.
It all of a sudden it got quiet and the deafening silence that happened, it took me a minute to realize, wait a minute.
He stopped crying. Hmm. What they say, children live what they learn, boy. They live what they learn. And you
Yes.
got to start
Yep.
early.
Um, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this on up.
Yep.
Gosh, we've gone 15, almost 15 minutes over. How cool. I just want to say thank you.
That's what an hour feels like.
Yeah, right. This was a good one. This was a good one. Thank you all for being here with us. Thank you for tuning in and watching our podcast, Sisters on God. We are. And if you have any questions, you have a topic that you would like for us to discuss, feel free to hit us up in our email.
Yes.
Let me put that back up there. There we go. Hit us up in our email, and we'd be more than happy to
Explore.
explore that topic that you would like
Which,
discussed.
yeah.
And did I forget anything? Because I feel like I forgot something. No?
Oh, no, I was Coral.
The coral
Thank
side.
you. No, it's just saying thanks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
That was
If you have any, I knew I forgot something. Glad I stayed on. If you know of someone with a company or a business that needs some advertising, some soft advertising, we are here to do that for you for a small minimal fee. And you can hit us up in our email as well. Let me put my glasses on so I can read it out loud. It's Kathy Nadine at Authentics Cats Meow Podcastflow.net. I know that's very long, and I am actually working on getting a smaller
email address.
email address. Yeah, I'm working on that right now because it's really way too long for people. But it was the only option that they gave me at the time. So now that I've had the Sisters on God, I'm going to try and see can I get our email to Sisters on God so that it'd be just a lot easier for anyone out there to be able to communicate with us. All right. So with that being said, we're going to get on out of here and join us again next week. It looks like we moved to Thursdays. It's just that it gets a little hard for me because I run a hotel and I'm here 24/7 running the hotel. So it gets a little hard for me to find time to squeeze our podcast in. So with that being said, you all, thank you so much again for being here with us. We'll see you next week. You all take care. We'll see you on the
Peace, yeah.
flip side.